because this is a team-based game. It is a 4v1, right? It's not a fucking 1v1, which all these compy fucking apes are trying to push, which is what this was going to turn the game into, where it literally takes your entire fucking game to get anybody out, because they have tunneling reductions, they've got slugging reductions, and they've got all kinds of fucking base kit shite carrying them through the game, to the point where there is literally no point in playing any other killer apart from Blight, Nurse and Ghoul, something that these fuckers whine about every time they face it, right? Think of the game state if all three of these things went live, right? Because all you'd face would be Blight, Nurses, Ghouls, potentially Dracula, and anything that has a high degree amount of traversal, and the ability to down within 10 seconds. Anything else, fucking gone, mate. You will never see it ever again, right? And that, right there, would also be the game state where all these fucking little apes that were pushing for this, right, would then turn around and say, oh, why am I only facing Blight, Nurses and Ghouls? Why are killers such scumbags? Why are they only playing these killers? Because we're too fucking thick as pig shit, as I've been saying, to understand that in the time-based ASIM, if you keep adding things like this that wastes time for the killer, it will only get worse. Killers will keep you on the ground longer to buy themselves more time. They will tunnel you more to try and get somebody out of the match to buy themselves more time. This is how a time-based ASIM fucking works. And now they're all probably going to start, we've not seen it yet, because obviously here it's only just come on the screen, but you'll see them all in a minute. I'll start fucking whining about it probably. And I've got a literal personal message to anybody who thinks this is bad and, you know, oh shit, no, we can't play the game now, oh, it's all bad. Get the fuck out of PvP gaming. Go and fucking play The Sims, or whatever it is. Play a fucking PvE game, because it's not, it literally isn't for you. It really is not for you, this genre. Fuck off. Get out. Carry on. Right, ladies and gents, we're going to do another stream reaction, just literally the same as the last one we did, you know, when they did the anti-slugging, tunneling and all that kind of shit. We'll go into this saying the usual stuff, because YouTube seems to randomly scatter my fucking videos across the internet, because we've got people from other gaming communities commenting. Uncensored honesty is what we do on this channel, ladies and gentlemen. I am for the good cause, or what I believe is the good cause with this game, and that is not catering to very shit players, which is the warpath that this game is currently on with the current state of its balance and all this kind of stuff. So I believe this particular stream is going to be a summary of what we're going to be seeing based on the absolutely horrendous fucking PTB we've just had. But yeah, we're just going to get into it. We're going to see how it goes and just react accordingly to things. I'll pause the video to put my inputs in, and yeah, we'll just get on with it. Same as the other video, if you are a frequent viewer, same as the past stream video, we'll get in there. We do have 10 minutes off the beginning, so that looks like cosplay. So I think we're probably around there, 10:16. News and updates, here we go. Talk to me about balance.
Oh, hey everybody. Sorry, just wrapped into the Shirtless Peanuts request in the chat. Hi, welcome to another DBD community live stream. We are here live from Montreal. We are going to have more faces on this show.
Again, as I said, we're not going to edit. We're just going to let it go because it's the reaction.
So, a couple familiar faces with me here today. We've got Mandy, and we've also got Jeff, and I'm Eric, or Pope, or Eric Pope, or whatever you want to call me. And we're here to you know, tell you what's up with DBD. I'll kick
what
us
is
off
up with DBD?
last week, just so people who didn't last
a lot of things.
That feels like a week ago. It does. So you don't, you know what the context is here. This is not a big chapter reveal stream. If you came here expecting a chapter reveal, we're not doing that. So just stick around and chill, because it should be fun. But this is really, these are called community streams for a reason. We try to address topics that are core to the community, save our big, fancy, fun reveals for our chapter reveals and things like that. So I know you're waiting for the next chapter. You shouldn't have to wait too much longer to find out what it is. Not going to be today, though. So just relax for a little bit longer. I know you want to know. Okay.
The amount of fucking red
things we're
dots on
gonna
this
cover
guy's
show
forehead.
Today are our PTB to live changes. Last time we were here, Jeff talked through a ton of stuff that was tested.
Yes, Jeff, he did. Yeah, he completely misinterpreted what tunneling for pressure was. I do remember that. Or slugging for pressure, I should say.
What's different, etc. We're also going to touch on the Grimoire. If you're not familiar with the Grimoire, that is, we kicked it off earlier this year. You are helping us to build a chapter of Dead by Daylight. And in fact, small world, Jeff is designing our Grimoire killer. So we got some cool stuff to talk about there.
Fucking hell. Right, it's in good hands then.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Right, come on.
And Dork fans worry not. Dork is she's right now behind the boards running the show, but she will be out here. We're going to switch, and I'm probably going to break everything later on. She and Andre.
This girl is still on a webcam, by the way. There is literally a fucking seat next to this guy. This was the same as last time as well. It's irrelevant to what we're doing here with the reactions and stuff, but it makes me laugh, dude. 1,200 people work at this company, and they can't find somebody else to work the fucking cameras, so this girl's actually just locked behind the cameras on a face cam and can't actually sit on the chair. She has been sat on the chairs in previous streams, but I guess she's been demoted.
From our team and Brandon from the product team are going to walk through the community cosmetic contest winners, tell you when they're coming with a roadmap, tell you what some changes are, etc. So that's our show for today. If it sounds good, stick around. If it doesn't sound good, go have a sandwich. All right, so I mentioned our next, have a sandwich.
That's go fuck yourself in corporate speak. Happy-go-lucky, golly, howdy neighbour speak.
I want a sandwich now.
I had one right before. Probably a mistake.
That was brave of you.
So I mentioned our next release is coming up. It is next week. It is on the 25th, right around the corner.
Yeah,
Tuesday. And as I said, we're going to talk in just a couple minutes what you can expect in that release. I did want to note, we all, you, but also us included, want more focus on bugs.
Yes, we do.
Kind of a through line through everything right now that we're hearing, and totally.
For the 600th fucking time that we've done this, where we do every stream and we start saying, right guys, we're going to fix bugs, we're going to get the game together, we're going to push for standards, we're going to do all this, and then fuck all happens ever, because it just introduces more and more bugs over time, you know. Every single release, they'll fix a set number of bugs and then introduce double the fucking amount with that patch, you know. It doesn't get any different, it doesn't change at all.
Feel you on that. I wanted to note, we looked at the bug count, the bug fix count, that's coming in the release next week, and it's almost double what was on the PTB build, which is nice.
I have to think it was just slightly
just
more
about,
than double.
So we're looking good there. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. We're not pretending we don't, but I just wanted to mention that. So
we'll see about that when it actually makes it to the game as well.
Okay, so as you guys know, 2v8 has just been extended, so that's going to
unfortunately
be extended until the 25th, 10 a.m. So you can expect a release at 11 a.m. and 2v8 will finish an hour before. So we've increased the incentives in the 1v4 queue, so to try and balance that queue a bit, because the killers were having a fairly long wait time. We also did a
Indeed,
survey,
we were.
and that's what led us to make the decision to extend. In the survey, I've got numbers. I wrote them down. So above 70% of people wanted the 2v8 to be extended. So it's a lot. It was a lot of people who.
I'll briefly touch on this right here, and again, this, you know, it doesn't go into us versus them, this, but the reason there is 70% more people voting for 2v8 comes from survivors. It is literally survivor players, and because there is more survivors than there are killers within the player base, because this is a 4v1 asim, for every one killer there is 4 survivors, there is always going to be a higher number of survivors in voting pools and all that kind of stuff, which is very bad when you've got a dev like this that doesn't actually playtest the game. They just do it with fucking data sheets and voting, basically. So a lot of the stuff that comes to the game is always going to be geared towards survivor, and with the recent patch that's coming up, or the patch that is coming up I should say, you're seeing the very bad side of that sort of shit, because the game's literally about to die. These lot don't know it yet, but it is, because the game will become literally unplayable if this PTB hasn't been fucking changed. But yeah, the 70% voting on the 2v8 is literally survivors, and probably only survivors as well, because killer is just a fucking nightmare to play in this mode. You wait about literally 30 minutes for a match, that ends in about 4 minutes because you just get fucking gem rushed.
Completed the survey that want that extended. So,
But it's not a long extension, as you mentioned.
It's not. It's
taking
over the
us
weekend.
right up till the release next
yeah,
week.
it's open the weekend.
It's still an extra 5 days of just really fucking long queues for literally no reason. But okay, yeah, sure.
And we're doing some testing on the incentives. Let's see how that works out. See how that helps the queue, because obviously we're concerned about, the core queue as well as the event queue, and we're looking at both things. So it's not like we're just looking at one or the other.
Cool.
So we'll let you know more about that as soon as we've got it for the next iterations.
Fantastic. Also coming up, and again, I mentioned this isn't a big reveal stream. We got no flashy assets to show you, but we did want you to mark your calendar. Bone Chill returns as it does each year, so this year is no exception. Bone Chill
Christmas.
returning quite soon as well. It will be before the next stream that we do, our December stream, so it's also right around the corner. We'll have a roadmap, a calendar for the month on December 1st that's going to take you through all the things you can expect, including when Bone Chill drops, currently scheduled right now for December 9th. So stay tuned and see what's happening there.
Okay, and then to finish off our news, tomorrow is kind of a big...
Nothing to say about that, by the way. It's just, as I said, like the Halloween event, I know I'm like pretty quiet at the beginning of this one compared to the one that I did previously, but they've not really said anything that's really woke me up, to speak, so to speak, yet. So it is what it is. But yeah, Bone Chill, Haunted by Daylight, both of them just sort of blend together for me. They're very just... don't really do anything for me, to be honest. But yeah.
Day in the DBD comp world, and we're going to be assisting by DBD League is going to be taking over our Twitch channel, and they're going to be streaming their All Hallows final starting at 12 p.m. ET, so about an hour away, 23 hours away roughly. I was trying to work out the maths, that was a mistake.
It works.
Yeah, relatively. So tomorrow, 12 p.m. ET, we'll have DBD League hosting their All Hallows final on our channel. It'll be between Victus and Praxis. So they've been pretty good all the way through, both teams. So there's not a pin between them at this stage. It could be anyone's, and it's going to be a best of 9 for the final.
Nice.
Fuck, man, best of 9.
I'm really happy to be doing this with DBD
So people will be able to watch.
If you aren't as well, just let me mention this. Just it makes me fucking laugh. The comp scene for this game, dude. Like 90% of the actual core game is like locked out of the game, actually out of tournaments, because it's so fucking imbalanced and just not equipped to handle a tournament playstyle or an esports scene, that all of it's locked out and certain playstyles are fucking forbidden and all this kind of stuff. It's this really robotic, soulless kind of fucking thing that happens whenever they do like comp games and all this kind of stuff in the actual professional side of things. It's just, it's fucking bizarre, dude, that this even has any traction.
Right here on our Twitch channel. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right, well, that wraps it up for our brief news segment at the top of the show. Now we are going to dive into our P2B to live changes.
Here we go. This is where I'll probably wake up, boys.
So let's hit
You know the drill. PTB to live. I've got a good idea of this. Fucking get rid of it. That's a simple answer. Get the fuck rid of it. Doesn't need to happen. Maybe it does, because that's the calibre of player we've got in this player base. Literally as well. They're going to all start laughing at this. Look. But this is literally what they play like. Right here. No joke. No satire. This is literally what they're like. But here we go. Alright, come on, Jeff. Hit me with it.
Hello again. It's my time to shine. I have the clicker.
Yes,
Indeed it is. Fucking hell.
Power.
It's not dude time, but it's Jeff time.
Yeah, no more dude
No
time.
more dude time. I got requests.
I'm here in the middle.
I did want to say, so I want to say something at the top of this segment, because last show I said a lot of things. Well, I said a lot of things, but I said the same thing a lot of times. That
It's about
I
testing.
want people to test that PT.
Yeah, there it is. It's his favourite word, this guy.
It was not
about testing.
all the intention. I talked about this on Twitter yesterday. truly.
We introduce 5,000 bugs per patch,
And
but
I
we
said,
test it,
please
boys. We
it.
test
It's
it.
not, hey, go find bugs for us, because we're not able to, because now that's what people were going to. It's really that without the feedback of our players getting hands-on, because we see your feedback before it's there, but with your hands-on, that's where our team, the community team, can be best equipped to talk to the various internal teams when we make decisions about what goes live in the game. So I'm really sorry if it came across as condescending. I truly didn't mean it that way. I'm a big believer in PTBs or PTS, depending on the type of game you play.
Yes, Mr. Pope. Right, we have addressed it, obviously, because obviously you did take a lot of flack from this. It wasn't just me that was exaggerating it. There were quite a lot of people who said, will you shut this fucking guy up going on about testing? The problem with it wasn't really necessarily the problem that it was coming across as condescending. It was the arrogance with which it was delivered constantly, because he kept fucking going on about it in the previous stream. Like, every single time somebody would go to speak about something they were working on or anything they were going to be addressing in the game and all this kind of stuff, he'd literally interject and he'd say, "Oh, just 1 minute, guys. We just want to let you know, and we want to exaggerate that this is the PTB, the player testing build," all this kind of shit. And he'd do it every fucking time somebody had mentioned something. And then we get more releases all the time where it's just bugs or it's just literally blatant bad balancing issues that could have been resolved by testing. That's the problem with it. So what he's saying right now, where he says about having players look for bugs and all this kind of stuff, and that we do it as well and all this kind of stuff, it's a very hard fucking sell, mate. It is a really hard sell, given the state of the game, that the players themselves aren't literally your playtesters and your bug fixers, mate. Because I genuinely don't believe, to any degree or any capacity, there is a sizable playtesting team within this fucking company at all, to be honest, with the fucking state the game's currently in, dude. It is what it is.
To inform the changes that actually go live to the game. And I know there's a track record that people have pulled on, like, well, but you've done this in the past, and I totally get it. But I just wanted to say that up front, because
gotta get this one open once.
Even if you ever meet me in person, it's probably the first thing I'll tell you about is I'm such a believer in PTB as a tool for us to make what goes live in the game the best it can possibly be. So that's my moment of addressing that at the top of the show. And now I'll hand it over to Jeff.
Right, okay, back to Jeff. Let him speak, yeah. Zip.
I think it's a good point because, as I always remind people, we don't make the game for ourselves. We make it for the players, and ultimately, if the players don't like the game, it's not great. So PTB testing is amazing.
I hope you fucking listen, then.
All right, so today,
because that's going to age very fucking badly, boys.
I don't know if we'll show them all because it's mostly just text. There aren't really any visuals today. I don't have any little drawings of Skull Merchant or anything like that. But I do have some important...
No drawings of Skull Merchant where we basically, in very bad taste, demonized the fucking killer side of the player base by literally inadvertently calling everybody who slugged or put a survivor on the ground a fucking scumbag and literally celebrating it live on stream with the funny graphics, Yeah. So I hope there isn't any more of that, to be fair, mate.
Points. So, PTB to Live, what's next? The burning question, what is going live?
Here we go.
Kind of like
hit me with it.
For
Come on.
A couple of days/weeks.
Yeah.
So here's the big reveal. So the camping reduction is going live with some small adjustments, and I'm
right
in the next slide.
That's not the one I'm concerned about.
Slugging reduction
Good.
is not going live. And
I'll explain.
Reduction is
Good.
not going live.
Right.
So
don't say another word. Let me just speak me piece. Right. Go back to that a minute. Zip, zip, zip. There it is. Right. Thank fuck, ladies and gentlemen. At long last, right? We've done it 2 times. We've tried to push this into the game 2 times now. Hopefully 3rd time isn't the fucking charm, Hopefully we're going to finally put this shit to bed, because this now, based on this as well, with what's going live, only one of these fucking things is going live that's been touched with development for the past about 6 months, which means we've barely done fucking anything now for 6 months or achieved anything from that development period, right? It looks like finally we've hammered the fucking rock against their skulls so fucking hard that they've had to turn around and say, hang on a minute, maybe we're actually designing a PvP game right here, and we can't just tell one side of the player base how to play the game because all the whining little fucking flakes on Twitter can't stand not being able to make TikTok content, right? Because this is literally what it boils down to. I've always been somebody who's been very open about what I say and stuff like that, because I know a lot of streamers don't like to come out and say shit like this because they get fucking hunted down and witch hunted and all that kind of stuff. I don't have anything to lose. Right? I've said this from the very beginning. I have my YouTube channel. That's it. I've got 0 fucking other presence on the internet whatsoever. Right? So even if they come after me when I say these things, I don't give a fuck. I will continue to say shit like this, and I will continue to push through it because I don't care. I'm here for the nature of the game, and I'm here for the health of the game itself. Just because a lot of my views align with Killer does not mean that I am us versus themy, or I'm promoting a side where all the survivors should never escape a trial and all that kind of stuff, and I will touch on that in a minute because I've mentioned that in the past. I am going on about how the game plays, the health of the game, how good it feels to play the game on both sides, right? And here's where the both sides come into it, right? Because I'll start with Survivor, because obviously that's going to be the elephant in the room here. On the Survivor side, I have said in the past that you should never go into a game in this particular type of game, like an ASIM, as a one player or as a solo player or even in a Swift, right? You should never be entitled or guaranteed to escape your game. And in fact, on that breath, you should only be escaping about 40% of your games when you are playing as Survivor. Because this is a team-based game. It is a 4v1. Right? It's not a fucking 1v1, which all these compy fucking apes are trying to push, which is what this was going to turn the game into, where it literally takes your entire fucking game to get anybody out because they have tunneling reductions, they've got slugging reductions, and they've got all kinds of fucking base kit shite carrying them through the game to the point where there is literally no point in playing any other killer apart from Blight, Nurse, and Ghoul, something that these fuckers whine about every time they face it, right? Think of the game state if all three of these things went live, right? Because all you'd face would be Blight, Nurses, Ghouls, potentially Dracula, and anything that has a high degree amount of traversal and the ability to down within 10 seconds. Anything else, fucking gone, mate. You will never see it ever again, right? And that, right there, would also be the game state where all these fucking little apes that were pushing for this, right, would then turn around and say, oh, why am I only facing Blight, Nurses, and Ghouls? Why are killers such scumbags? Why are they only playing these killers? Because we're too fucking thick as pig shit, as I've been saying, to understand that in the time-based ASIM, if you keep adding things like this that wastes time for the killer, it will only get worse. Killers will keep you on the ground longer to buy themselves more time. They will tunnel you more to try and get somebody out of the match to buy themselves more time. This is how a time-based ASIM fucking works. It is genuinely insane, dude, that we've got to this fucking jaded level of just complete negligence to our own fucking IQ, dude. That we've got to this fucking state where we've had 2 PTB rotations now that have amounted to fuck all, and we're wasting dev time on these fucking losers on Twitter and Twitch. It's insane, dude. And now they're all probably going to start, we've not seen it yet, because obviously here it's only just come on the screen, but you'll see them all in a minute, I'll start fucking whining about it, probably. And I've got a literal personal message to anybody who thinks this is bad, and, you know, oh shit, no, we can't play the game now, oh, it's all bad. Get the fuck out of PvP gaming. Go and fucking play The Sims, or whatever it is. Play a fucking PvE game, because it's not, it literally isn't for you. It really is not for you, this genre. Fuck off. Get out.
Reduction
Carry on.
is not going live. So, camping.
Right, let's see the ins and outs, right?
We're going to get to pallets in a second as well. That wasn't actually part of the PTB changes. It was already live, but we're going to address that in a minute too. So hang on.
We're addressing pallets, are we? Ooh, the forbidden fruit.
It's been a hot topic.
Yep.
Okay.
So, for camping.
It has been an hot topic, mate, and I just want to briefly touch on that as well when all we did, the pallet density update, and I'll bring Disturbed Award as a prime gleaming example of this. The pallet density update that basically just pasted the same fucking loop that has 2 god pallets on it, back to back on every single fucking tile around the main central building on Disturbed Ward. Yeah, people have got a fucking reason to be pissed off with it, mate.
Survivors
cannot believe we're in this fucking game state.
When they're hooked, so that was very liked across the board, so that's going live.
No, that's fine.
The resolve bar fills up faster the longer the killer stays with.
That's to know about the range.
Still the same as PTB. However, we are reverting the range increase. So on the PTB it was increased.
Right, they made it smaller.
Meters. We're bringing it back down to 16 meters.
Yeah, good.
There was some concerns raised by a lot of you that it would be unfair to the killer in some situations. So we're just bringing.
Indeed, it would.
Before.
Yep.
So why not the rest? So slugging and tunneling. So after a second round of testing, we found that the features did not meet the minimum positive impact that we hoped they would have. And
Oh, gee, why do we think, Jeff? Let me briefly touch on this for you. I've literally just done it anyway in that little intro rant. As it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, this man who is the head of balance, apparently, in this game, in this game's design space, has just had the very serious wake-up call by literally about 80% of the game's community telling him to fucking get these changes out because they're absolute dog shit. This isn't how you design a PvP game, Jeff. You don't lock somebody, you don't lock half of your player base, or, well, it's not technically half, obviously, because it is a 4v1, but you don't lock one side of your player base out of playing the game just so it can benefit the others that fucking whinge every time they die because they think it's a 1v1. People that shouldn't be in the asim genre, essentially. Tourists, as I like to call them. Yeah, it wouldn't have the positive impact or the minimum positive impact that we would have liked because it was literally dog shit changes that would kill your fucking game, mate. And again, this also briefly sort of dips its toes into the idea of them not playing it at all because they're not thinking of, like, if they're supposedly playing this game and they're playtesting it in-house, right, there has to be a degree on that balance team of human enjoyment as well. Those balancing people have to be playing that game and be thinking, right, this is fun. I'm having fun here. I'm having fun. Me sat in this chair as I would be at home in my fucking trackies and my jumper. I'm at work, I'm playing this game, I'm playtesting it, but I am enjoying it. There needs to be some of that on your balance team in-house in the workplace, because if there isn't, that means there is a problem with it. Yeah? And obviously this needs to be mirrored with a lot of people, a lot of different playtesters, and this is why you need to have a considerably large amount of playtesters in a game with an IP this big and this popular. You need to have numerous brains playtesting your game so that you get the general idea of what the game's experience actually is like, instead of just fucking leaving it to Twitter and all this datasheet bollocks that they keep fucking trying to say is the best way to balance games when it fucking isn't. You just need to playtest it and understand what is actually going on in your game outside of low MMR as well, on top of that. I said it in the previous stream. There needs to be, in this fucking company, there needs to be a team, or even just some, well, not volunteers, because obviously then it is just the public. I mean, people who are actually part of active development in this team, right? When it comes to the lunch break or anything like that, they need to switch that game on a PC, on Steam, not on a fucking, not on a private design PC, on a fucking regular PC, log into your personal Steam account that you would be using at home and play fucking games of this game. And then you would have an idea of what your game is actually like, because you would be playing it publicly. That's where everybody else is playing it. Not in-house, in a group of developers having a fucking laugh, you know, all this kind of shit. You'd be playing it publicly. You would experience your game's shite fucking MMR system. You would see everybody DCing and realise that it's not a fucking killer issue, all this fucking fairy tale shite that's being pushed in this the game's community by all the shit streamers. It's about the game's health in general, you know? Fucking hell, dude, it's at top of the fucking asim genre.
frankly, and just simply put, there was a lot of negative feedback about it, and it's very hard to justify
because it was fucking dog shit
in the live game when the feedback is negative that badly. So that's why it's not going live. So what's next? There's 3 things I think I want to mention. So
sorry, I had a mouthful of drink now. Don't fucking try to push it again in a third PCB, for fuck's sake. I swear, dude. If we get a fucking third iteration of this shit, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
So we understand that tunneling is still a frustrating
Nobody wants it. Fuck off. He's already talking about tunneling.
situation to be in. So one thing that we will try is to increase the base kit endurance and haste.
Fuck's sake.
So it's 5 seconds longer than what's on live right now. And we will be reviewing how MMR is calculated.
Do you reckon they're just going to keep doing this until eventually it just reaches 40 seconds anyway? Here's an idea, Jeff, and I'm being personal here when I say this, and I'm not directing it at this guy as I say this. Maybe a lot of survivors in this game's community just need to fucking man up, you know? They need to understand what PvP gaming is, as I've just said, you know? It is what it is at the end of the day. It's fucking fairy tale bollocks, as always. They can't, because obviously now because they've reversed the tunneling and slugging stuff, they can't be seen to have reversed that but not give them something, you know.
So we think that
Sure.
by making adjustments there, we could see a reduction in those types of strategies, which means we'll require less drastic changes in terms of like the base game itself.
Hang on a minute, I didn't internalise that. We will be reviewing how MMR is calculated, including win conditions. We believe this will have an impact on these strategies, which means we'll require less drastic changes. It won't have an impact on these strategies. It won't. Tunneling and slugging, as I've just said prior a minute ago, is how you play a time-based ASIM. That's just literally the video game. It's got nothing to do with the MMR. It's got literally nothing to do with the MMR. You could be a very low MMR, and somebody could realise that, oh, hang on a minute, if I chase this survivor repeatedly, I can get him out, kill him. That's where it begins. It's got nothing to do with MMR. That's the way they play the game. So this whatever the MMR system is here, that it doesn't mean anything. It literally doesn't mean anything. There'll be tunneling, slugging, and all these tactics and strategies. They'll be used at any MMR because that's literally just common sense. It's how you play an ASIM, a time-based ASIM. You know, it's got nothing to do with MMR. Tunneling and slugging appears a lot more frequently at higher MMR because that's when the game becomes fucking survivor-sided and you need to get people out because there are so many second chances in the game. There are so many ways the killer can be fucking stunned. There are so many different ways that survivors can get out of chases or do gens in about fucking 4 minutes. You know, the tunneling and slugging stuff is mandatory once you get to high MMR, which was why this patch was about to kill the game. Literally. The MMR, in respects to how they're mentioning it here, the MMR doesn't mean anything to that. It's unrelated.
And then the last thing...
This is the way I'm reading this. This is basically saying that MMR dictates whether tunneling or slugging can be done. You know? Like, it gives the impression that at low MMR, these strategies would never work, or they'd never be used. But then you'd reach, like, mid-MMR, and that's when they're sort of unlocked, so to speak, you know, that kind of thing. That's what that kind of sounds like, but it's not. It's tunneling and slugging going to be everywhere because it's literally how you play time-based ASIMs.
On this topic is that we have started the process of looking at how to improve the first-time user experience. So how new players are onboarded into the game and the things that we teach them and show them and all those things.
You need to redo your tutorial. That's literally what it is. You need to redo the intro tutorial. It's really shit. It is fucking shit. And it bugs out as well nearly every patch. I've seen stuff on Reddit about people posting how the literally new players as well coming into the game saying, hi guys, should this be happening? When the fucking Megbot won't unhook you and all this kind of stuff. They need to just make a new tutorial. Or there needs to be a new player queue at the very beginning of the game for people that are fresh that are coming in, where you have to literally play, I'd say, 5 games in the new player queue before you actually put into the main queue, the game's queue. So you actually know what the game's like. You know what it does. I think Identity 5 does this, where your first couple of games in just whenever you click match, whenever you first start playing Identity 5, you play against bots for the first couple of games. So you get used to it, and then after your first few games, it switches you into going against actual players. You need to do that. Because then, at least against the bots, obviously make the bots better, because the bots in this game are fucking dog shit, but if the bots are made better, you'd still get the general gist and the understanding of how to, how to actually play the game.
It's a process that started. There's no ETA. There'll be more details in the future. I can't tell you when, but we have started looking at it, so it's very exciting. Next, there were some perk changes that happened with this update. So Babysitter is being reverted to its current live iteration, where it, brain fart, really big brain fart.
Get it together, Jeff. Fucking hell, mate. Come on.
It's so small. Damn. So you won't leave scratch marks, your pools of blood, and you get 10%.
We can't read it. Someone make it bigger for him then.
And then the unhooker will see the killer's aura. So that's
fucking hell, dude.
The current live version. Same thing goes for borrowed time. So this will extend the endurance and the haste. Furtive chase is going back to the version that a lot of you really like, which is that it gives you undetectable and haste when you hook a...
Yeah, incentivizes not camping. We sort of gutted this perk in the patch where we were trying to stop killers from camping. with the perk that's literally known to incentivize killers not to camp. Yeah.
The Obsession, sorry. And Off the Record is going to a previous version that we had where you did get endurance, but it was for a shorter amount of time. And the reason why is I think that we can all agree that 80 seconds of endurance is very long and very powerful. So
Indeed it is. And how long was that in the game, ladies and gentlemen? How long was that? Oh, several fucking months, I think it was, wasn't it? Or even a year. I can't remember how long it was. This fucking perk right here, Off the Record, needs an entire rework as far as I'm concerned, because it is just fucking dog shit. All it is ever used, it's basically what you can consider this as, and I've said this before. So Off the Record is essentially DS, but without a stun mechanic on it. That's what it is, basically, with 20 seconds shaved off its timer. That's it. Because it's literally, all I ever see this perk used as is get unhooked, find the killer, insert yourself in the chase, free elf state to spend, you know? That's all it is. And then obviously you can run this with DS as well. So if that killer then takes your hit and you go down into mend, or if you go to, you know, you get the deep wound effect and then that killer decides, hang on a minute then, I'll start chasing you off the hook, you can then stun them with DS as well. It's dog shit perk design. It needs an entire fucking rework. The idea of removing scratch marks, did it not? This one doesn't remove scratch marks. I don't know why I'm not getting scratch marks in a lot of my game unless everybody's running the lucky break. But this anyway, the idea of it not showing the aura or the grunts of pain and all that kind of stuff, that's fine. That's literally fine. Because that promotes intellect from the survivor by them running off and finding a place to hide. And if they do find a place to hide, they'll be invisible because they'll be silent, you know, and all that kind of stuff. That's good. That promotes gameplay. This shit, where they just get 40 seconds of endurance with fuck all counterplay and 0 IQ into using it, nah, it's shit game design.
we're cutting it by half. So you'll.
And that was supposed to be base kit as well. That was what was coming in the fucking tunneling thing. It was this. They were making this base kit. Fucking embarrassing, dude.
Still get a lengthy amount of endurance, just not for almost a whole gen's worth of time.
Yeah.
So that's going in for release. Those are reverts happening for the release next week. And then for hotfix.
He's a fucking weird one, Jeff, isn't he? He has these moments where he sounds like a competent developer and then he'll come out with a fucking, oh, I'm a survivor, main, as he said in the previous things, which is something you should never do. And also the guy who was sat next to him as well that said he was a killer main. You don't do that whenever you're developing a game, especially with a player base as explosive as this and tribalistic. So he actually did speak sense there, where he said it was not, taking up an entire gen's worth of time. But all as well, in that particular instance, it wasn't that it was taking up a gen's worth of time, it was just the fact that it's literally never used for anti-tunneling. It's just weaponized every fucking game it's in. It's just bad game design.
Next one, we will revert Breakdown and Wicked. So they'll go back to their current live version. It's just, we had to prioritize for the release, and those two felt like they were a little bit less urgent. And however, I think we will mention, do we want to mention for Wicked?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wicked, because we
The fuck's this?
heard the concerns that it stacks very well with Resurgence, we will be kill switching it to make sure that it can't be abused in any way.
Ah, yes. This was that thing where you could insta-heal yourself off the hook in the basement. So I can't remember what they've changed it back to. I did see a video, Ots did a video where he got hooked in the basement, and then he unhooked himself from the basement, and then he was insta-healed, and he managed to sprint out the gates, because, game design.
So I wanted to mention that.
Hotfix 2 or Hotfix 1?
Hotfix 2.
Oh, Hotfix 2.
Yes, because of
The
make sure
timeline,
that Switch
okay.
is going to be able to
Okay.
not have a problem.
Okay, sorry. So not for Hotfix 1, for Hotfix 2.
Fuck me, dude. Right, okay.
Next point is, what about killers? So we did have some changes in the PTB for some killers. The first one was Skull Merchant. So the Skull Merchants are going live, but
School merchant, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever could the but be,
there is a but, and I think this but will make people happy, and not that kind of but.
No, I didn't say anything for once.
You were thinking it though.
I was thinking, don't tell
Okay.
them I'm thinking that.
Everyone knows Mandy. So the but is we will decouple her undetectable from deploying drones to recalling drones in the hotfix 1 patch. And at the same time, we will revert the undetectable duration nerf.
Yeah, the reason people were playing that.
PTB.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's something that's coming up in the, not the release next week, the hotfix after. Next is the Cenobite. So the base kit nerf is being reverted.
Okay, everything's been
This add-on
reverted.
original pain is not. So the too long didn't read is you'll be able to bind survivors with controlled chains, even if they have endurance.
Good.
Because on the PTB, you
Good.
couldn't do that. So
Yeah.
that's been reverted to the live.
So Pinhead can now punish people for using iframes against him. That's something that shouldn't be fucking removed, considering how much it's weaponized. Yeah, good.
Behavior that we can expect. And then finally, the last hot topic is what about medkits? So there were 2 medkit add-ons that got changes on the PTB. So we will be keeping a close eye on these add-on changes once they hit live, just so that we have the broader community at large to get feedback from. And then we'll see what kind of adjustments we need to make there at that
I think
point.
this is styptic and syringes, isn't it?
This one is-
Can you click?
Okay.
I've got a laptop and
Sorry,
I
I'm
can't
clicking.
click as well.
I clicked.
Okay, so.
Please tell me this is going ahead.
Was another-
I said this when they first showed this. This is fucking brilliant. This is really good. They need to do this on every map. I don't give a shit if all the fucking compies start crying about I can't see. Where's my gamma settings? All this kind of wank, just so they can see from the fucking front of the map to the back while they're fucking playing in stretched res or whatever the fuck they do these days, mate. This needs to stay. It's a step in the right direction to make the game actually look like a horror game. Very good, this. It's one of the main things I'm happy to see in this particular update.
Another major topic of the PTB. And as you'll see from the video, there are some changes that we've made. Thank you so much for the feedback about this, by the way. You helped the team identify exactly what they needed to change. And as you will see, a lot of you will see, I can't see because I'm colorblind, it's more green. Everybody's
Sorry, I shouldn't be
this
laughing
is
at
more
that.
green. It's lost
is.
the yellow color. And I'm being really careful with what I describe that
Oh,
as.
you mean the piss filter?
I knew you would go
Piss
there.
filter.
I'm a lady.
The Mexico filter, ladies and gentlemen, as I've known it as.
Players lovingly called it.
I'm a lady.
Any movie that was set in like the 80s or the 90s in like South America had this fucking orange, yellowish filter slapped over it.
I'm not going to say it. So, yeah, so that is going to be the green color. So there's still going to be a bit more fog, but it is looking so much better. And
Yeah, it looks like a fucking horror game.
It was really good. So the piss filter is gone. Yeah, I said it.
Oh my god! Actually, before we get to, we told you we'd get to the palette density stuff, but I want, if you could humor me for a second. I meant to do this at the top. I'm very interested because, survivors and killers are always at each other's throats in the game, in the community, in the chat. If you're
One little moment just there, Eric. That's because you promote it, mate. I've spoke about this in the past. The reason why both sides of the player base are all at each other's throats is because all we fucking do is add stun perks and go on about how killers are the scum of the earth, as we did in the previous patch. For the reasons I mentioned earlier when we drew the skull merchant and the slugging image and all that kind of stuff. We literally fucking promote this. That is why your player base is at each other's throats and why it is so toxic, because you are adding toxic things to the game whilst also pushing narratives constantly. That's what this dev team does. That's why they're at each other's throats and why it's so us versus them. You're always going to have us versus them in ASIMs and shit like that, because that's just the nature of the game. It's one side that plays differently to the other, and each side thinks that the other side's harder and all this kind of shit, and they'll constantly be at each other's throats and all that kind of stuff. But this dev team actively fucking promotes this shit, which is something that needs to fucking stop, because it's getting really fucking toxic and tiring, to be honest, in the current game state, in the current modern day of this game.
If you're a killer, main, hit K in chat. And if you're survivor main, hit S in chat. If you play both, hit me with a B. I'm just super interested to see what our chat right now consists of. I'm just really curious. Great. Thank you for letting me orchestrate this madness.
Again, this literally doesn't mean anything because everybody's just saying
coming
B
in.
because everybody says they play both sides, but it's up for debate, mate, to be fair.
No, I can see.
Super interesting.
A lot of B.
And you can continue to do that. We're going to talk about the palette density changes now, but I just thought that was interesting, I think, for everyone to be able to look at each other and see who does what and get a sense for roles in the game. I know that if you're one or the other, it's your life, and the other person, sometimes we don't see their point of view, and, you know, I'm not going to be able to make everyone do that. But I would love if people, Dork's there. Hey, Dork.
Nobody saw that there, but she did the fucking kid in front of the screen meme thing.
You know,
I recognise what she did there.
The other side.
Exactly.
There's a human being on the other side of that game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me just. You want to say that to the Survivor mains, ladies and gentlemen, because again, on the topic of us versus them, based on somebody that does play both sides, but also does play leaning towards killer. Obviously, all my videos on YouTube are towards killer, but I do Survivor dailies, I do Survivor challenges, all that kind of stuff when the Rift Pass needs them, all that kind of stuff. I have been a Survivor in games, and I've been in, obviously, my killer games. I receive nothing, and I mean nothing, but complete vitriolic toxicity from the Survivor side of this player base. They are some of the scummiest fucking cunts I have ever had the displeasure of sharing a game space with. Yeah, and that's not us versus them. There are so many entitled fucking pricks in this game's player base, mate, that need to fucking grow up. Yeah, and it's not, you know, I know we've got to remain neutral as a company and all this kind of shit, but I'm telling you, man, as somebody who plays both sides of this game, it is a majority survivors in terms of the toxicity in this game's community, dude. Far and away.
Okay, so this has been a big one.
I'm not saying there's killers that are cunts, not killers that are cunts, because there are. I've seen some of them when I've been playing Survivors, you know, they fucking down you and they start walking on you and all that kind of shit, you know. But as I say, like, I've always said, because I don't do that, like, I do my rant videos and stuff like that, but I'm ranting for the health of the game. This is why I always go on, when I always make a point out of it, when I'm going on the rant and I'm going on about how Survivor doesn't have any skill to it and all this kind of stuff, and they're just pressing buttons and all that kind of stuff. I'm not still in them killer games. I'm not going out of my way to make that person's game as shit as it is humanly possible, you know, because I suppose what sets me apart and the killer players that don't do the whole humping on the ground kind of thing is just that, you know, we're actually happy with the size of our cocks, so we don't have to actually project onto people online, as a lot of people do, and a lot of them do it on Survivor as well, with blast mines, flashbangs, all this kind of shit that doesn't really have counterplay, so to speak, from the killer side of thing, and they just get off on it because, you know, some of these people have dicks small enough that they could be classed as fucking clitorises. We'll get going. I'm not going into it.
The changes that were made, these were not PTB, these were made in the last release, and we've done a lot of discussion with you on the forums and Reddit, and thank you so much for all the detailed feedback, the screenshots, everything that you've provided. That is really, really...
Right, just 1 second. Rebalancing the super strong god palettes on maps such as Asylum and Macmillan Estate. List is not exhaustive. Reducing the strength of chainable loops, making sure that chainable loops have enough distance between them. Randomizing the tiles specifically on Swamp, Asylum, and Red Forest, as these maps in particular had tiles with multiple pallets all spawning. Did Swamp? So I don't think Swamp's really been a problem. The problem with Swamp is that in both iterations, the boat and the pantry, both of the main buildings, the boat and the pantry's worse than boat, but the boat is still, in how fast gen speeds go at the moment, a quasi-infinite, in a sense, for anything that doesn't have any means to catch up. Because they're both really fucking strong.
Helped. We're not doing a full revert of the palette density. We've identified specific areas, so some really strong god loops. Asylum, we're looking at you because that one was a big one. There was some insane loops on the side.
Oh, it's fucking horrendous.
Created. So those are gone.
It wasn't, well, it was loops, yeah. I was going to say it falls into the chainable loops category with Asylum. They're talking about Disturbed Ward here. What I said earlier on in the video, where they literally, it's the same fucking tile. It's that building, the building that's like burnt out and it's literally just the foundations left of it. It spawns 2 god pallets on either side of that, because if you don't have any means of traversal or you don't have any kind of ranged attack, it's a god palette because you don't have the speed to mind game it with a 50-50 on the side because of how long the wall is on either side of the palette. So it's literally, for most killers in the game, it's 2 god palettes on each tile, 2 per tile, all the fucking way around the main building. It's literal dumb shit. Seriously.
Those are going to be much weaker. Back to about a better standard, a bit more balanced, I should say. We've reduced the strength of chainable loops, so making sure that you can't chain a loop straight from shack straight into a jungle gym where you've got a double pallet in the jungle gym, for example, so that we've taken out those specifically strong loops and randomized a lot of the tiles on Swamp and Asylum. Those ones in particular were multiple pallets spawning at a specific tiles and then leading into a strong window.
See, I never saw this on Swamp now. I don't know where Swamp's coming into this.
This is going to go live on Tuesday. Please, please, please test it and let us know exactly your thoughts on it. And if you come to the forums, Reddit, anywhere to give us the feedback, if you can grab screenshots and press that escape button to just get the map tile, that is so helpful to our level design team to see exactly where the issues are, because that gives them...
Again, boys, isn't this what playtesters are supposed to be doing? You know, isn't this what having a playtesting team is supposed to fucking help you with? Yeah, I understand that helping, you know, obviously asking people who play your game to obviously take screenshots, what you like, and all this kind of stuff. That's fine, but at the same time, what the fuck are we doing in-house? You know, why are they not playtesting it and just seeing it for themselves? You know, why are they employing the community, basically, to do the fucking testing for them? You know, there's 1,200 people at this company, dude. I don't know what the fucking hell all 1,197 other of them are doing, you know?
The seed of the map, so they can pull that up on their side and see where the problems are occurring.
And you already said it, but I'll say it again. I really thank you to everybody who helped us. So the community team, my team, of which Mandy's on, you're on the design team, put in a lot of work, putting threads together for every one of the maps, getting targeted feedback for each one. Where are the problematic palettes, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a good amount of work, and it was also a great amount of participation from the community in helping us get to what these changes are. So thanks to everyone involved. I'm happy with how that went.
The importance of feedback.
Feedback, we love it.
It really helps.
Cool.
If only you paid fucking attention to it, mate.
That is our... Yes. Looks like you were saying.
Because it's only took us 2 fucking PTBs to realise this anti-slugging and anti-tunnelling shit is designed for the wrong people in this player base. It took us literally 2 fucking dev cycles to understand this, and we might even further down the line make it a fucking 3rd, because they probably will try and put it in the game again.
No. Go ahead.
I'm not saying anything else.
Oh.
I haven't actually, no, because we were pulling up questions right the way through. So a lot of things that I'm seeing is, what about Cenobite? And I'm just pointing out in the chat that you missed it. Field Agent Reaper, you missed it.
Yeah, Cenobite base kit is being reverted, so you'll be able to bind those survivors with endurance as you would previously.
Someone's also asking, well, at least one someone, it probably was more earlier, but what about the full rework of the Skull Merchant? You can remind them what we said before.
Yeah, so...
It's been promised for months, by the way.
Stage, we're going to make the changes.
I did see the little sigh in this man's tone then when he said that, which did rub me the wrong way for a second there, and it did raise my blood pressure a bit, because you did announce the Skull Merchant rework literally fucking months ago, and we still haven't fucking done anything in terms of actually coming towards it, so people have a fucking right to ask and to know about it, mate.
In hotfix 1, and then approach it the same way that we did with this PTB, and see if more changes are needed, and if yes, what kind of changes are needed. So it's not gone, we're just reassessing as we go.
Apologies about the mute button on the portrait behind me that someone just told me about in chat.
Is there?
I guess
There is, yeah, there's a mute
It
button.
just keeps flickering.
Oh, yeah.
Movie magic spoiled.
See, you let me with the controls earlier. I broke everything.
Cool.
Ooh, Mindbreaker.
Yes.
Yes, Mindbreaker will be back in the release on Tuesday. I'm seeing
Fucking hell, is this still kill switched?
Good grab.
I didn't even know.
It was capped, so I saw it. I don't have my glasses on again. I've done it again.
How long has that been kill switched for?
Someone's asking
Fucking
about
hell.
Shirtless Death Slinger skin, which of course they're joking. But
No, they're not.
But maybe I've seen something that's in production right now that might be going in that direction. I don't know.
There you go. Shirtless Death Slinger, fellas.
Cool.
Even though we've already got Shirtless
Feel
Death
free to
Slinger
keep
kind of
asking
anyway,
questions
with his
in the chat.
Luna
We
skin.
still have a lot more show to go. But as I mentioned before, Jeff's not done. We want to talk about the Grimoire with him as well.
Oh, fucking hell, here we go.
I don't recall, Dork, if we have a transition for that one or if we should go right into it. We'll go right into it. But we have more PowerPoint. So, very quick, if you haven't been around, as I said at the
The
top of the show,
Angel
the
Killer,
Grimoire
ladies and gentlemen.
is us building a chapter with the community based on.
I hope it's something
votes
genuinely
already
creative
done
this
so
time. We're
far
not just going to turn it into
based
fucking
on
Has-Been
who our
Hotel,
killers,
because
who our
I swear,
survivors,
dude,
and Jeff now. is
the idea of an
working
angelic
on
killer is
killer.
pretty fucking cool,
And
but
there's a reason he's here. Actually, it's not.
I don't think they're going to do a corrupt angel
Give you
correctly.
information on an upcoming vote. So, do you want to take it away, Jeff?
Yep, sure.
Working demons elsewhere on the internet, ladies and gentlemen, just to put the relevance just before we go into this, because I might get a little bit passionate here. I am a Rule 34 artist, I've always said that, but I do dabble in demonesses. So I am of this mindset. I know demons, I know angels, these are my co-workers. So, it is what it is. Them trying to do an angel is going to probably... I'm not going to say it's going to piss me off, but there's going to be some things here that I'm probably not going to agree with and all that kind of stuff, but we'll see.
Stuff, by the way.
I'm excited for it, though.
I'm officially transitioning out of the live balance team, and
It's just how they do corruption within angels that all touch parts of my brain that
a lot of good work in live
get on
design.
with
So shout out to everyone who's helped me, bring all these designs to life. I think it's been a great success. But yes, I am moving on and entering this new area with a very new process of involving the players, which is very interesting, and I'm excited to bring everyone with me on this journey, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I will.
Okay, Jeff. Okay.
So
okay, put the
next
cue
steps.
cards down.
First
Just
one
do it.
that I wanted to go through is just kind of like give a reminder of what was voted on.
Man with a suit stood behind the camera. Say this.
So this is the votes that are specifically pertaining to the gameplay, because there were some votes about more like the general vibe of the killer and everything like that. But this is really focused on the gameplay. So the first thing is Torment was voted. So curses and maladies that grow worse over time. And I'm just reminding you to
This is going to be new reactions for me to this as well, just before we go into this, because I actually didn't pay much attention to this. I think I voted in the first one. And I think I did vote for Torment, actually. Torment rings a bell, but after that I kind of lost track of it, because I took a bit of a break. But yeah, so this is actually going to be new, so we're going to see what they've actually voted for.
For the next slides, so that...
Here comes another fucking Dash killer. Wesker clone. In angel form.
We're all on the same page of what we're going to talk about. The next one is Punishing Heart. Misdeeds will be met with a devastating response. To sin is to suffer.
Okay, so he's puritanical.
And finally, each sin is unique. The most fitting punishment must be rendered for each individual sin. Only prayer can save the sinner.
We've been talking so much about sinning lately.
Right, just to go into this, I'm going to offer my thingies for this. This does sound pretty cool. So if they're going for the 7 deadly sins kind of vibe with him, they should do it so that survivors receive debuffs based on what they're actually doing in the trial. So body blocking, they get hit by a wrath debuff. Gluttony, if they search chests. Pride, if they get any kind of stun, maybe. What the fuck would Gen... nah, because I was going to say Sloth would be Gens, but it wouldn't be. Maybe... Pride might be Gens. Because you're doing your job, aren't you? And you're doing your objective. Yeah, but anyway, based on what they do in a trial, they get hit by a specific debuff related to that specific thing, We'll see.
It's great.
Yeah, I mean... in our discussions, sometimes we're like, kind of sounds a little weird, but you know what? We got to go with it, because that's what's been voted for. So we're working with it.
There's no sinners in the DBD community, so it's going to be new for them.
Exactly. Everyone's an angel. So
Not here the end, mate.
and I think one thing that's important to maybe
Based on my fucking viewpoints.
forefront is usually how killer designs work. Is that the creative director, so in this case, Dave, you've seen him many times before, will give us pillars or like a direction, really, of what the killer should be. And so he's done this exercise with the votes that you guys cast, previously. And the 3 pillars that he has given me to work with, because even though we're voting on the power together, which is really exciting, there was still some exploration to do. So to do that exploration, I needed a bit of a direction, right? So the 3 pillars are status builder. So the killer must apply an effect that progresses throughout the match. And how it applies, how it progresses, these are all things that we'll figure out together. Fitting punishment. So the killer must exact punishment equivalent to the sin that was committed.
Yeah, which is what I've just said.
And
Yeah,
force
so
of judgment. The killer is a
you get
terrible
debuffs
divine
based on what you
being.
do.
Survivors should fear being judged. So again, this idea of like divine purity, judgment is very, very present. So, like I said, you guys will be voting on the power, which is unprecedented.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. I'm so curious to see what will be the most voted.
Something creative,
And the way
hopefully.
that we will do this is that it's going to be broken down into 4 components. So with the design team, we brainstormed and we have identified a bunch of different things that will basically build a kit, and you guys will vote on those components for said kit. So the first component is an active power. So it gives room for skill expression and engaging chases, engaging gameplay.
This is something you use
The
in a
second
chase,
is,
basically.
how does one gain a sin, right? Because this whole idea of sinning is very important. How does a sin progress? And what is the effect of a sin? So with the most voted results, like I said, we'll put together a full design as a starting point for the prototype phase, which is set to begin sometime in December. And I know the community team has a lot of things planned for the sharing of all this information, which is very exciting. And I hope that you guys will enjoy being on this ride with me, because I think it's really, really cool. So here it is.
It's
What is
probably
your
not going to be
active power?
Christmas
And
next year,
just
probably
for
around that time when it'll
some
come out.
context, here I'm going to share
It's usually about a year to make
the
killers.
choices that you guys will vote on in the near future. And it's just to give you some time to think about it and even start theory crafting and putting your designer brains to work, really. So what is your active power? Choice number 1 is the Ray of Retribution. You deliver a beam of divine energy that punishes the unworthy. So I like to put little examples or references that you guys can use that are already
Reverse alien flame turrets.
An easier time understanding what I'm trying to convey. And so here it's a reverse xenomorph flame turret. So you imagine the killer has let's imagine it's a sword or a spear, and they use that to charge and channel this beam of energy that will punish the survivors. However that works, we could explore different things, and that's where it's interesting, because this is very high level, right? It's just an idea of a beam, but how does that?
That sounds very similar to Myers with Slaughter and Strike. The way I envision that working, what he's talking about there, is it'd have a spear or it'd have a sword, and you would basically press another button and it'd charge up, like he'd bring it up to his shoulder, if it's a spear, to throw it at the survivors, and then he launches that at them. It could be quite similar to cool to do something similar to I can't remember what she was called. I'm probably going to get her name wrong. I think it's Carly from League of Legends, where she throws spears into the other champions, and then she can pull them all out, and it does a lot of damage. So maybe you launch a couple of spears into your targets, and then you pull it out and you get an injure. That kind of stuff. As long as it's not too many though. But that kind of moves towards Trickster as well in terms of how it works. Yeah.
Beam interact with the environment? Does it create pseudo holes that you can then shoot again through, but at a much faster rate? Does it go through walls? Do you send it forward and it moves on its own? These are all explorations that we can do and expand upon once we have that final vote.
Another good shorthand that the chat has decided on is the Goku blast.
Exactly. Choice number 2, pursuing smite. You throw your weapon or a projectile, it could be anything really, and control its path to the better to smite the unworthy. So the comparison here that I make is imagine it's the artist's dire crow, but with the Cenobites controlled chain. So
that's kind of interesting.
That you send forward and you control as it moves around the level. And you know, some explorations that we could do here is, well, does it go through walls? Does it accelerate over time? Is it a slow-moving projectile? Is it a fast-moving projectile?
If it goes through walls, though, you're literally going to power creep Pinhead.
We have the final vote.
If you're going on about controlling
And
it.
the final one
then,
for the active power is the desolation zone. You throw your weapon to the ground, affecting the unworthy near the impact. So the comparison for this one is, imagine you have the Cenobites gateways, so you place it, and from that, you shoot something, you throw a spear, or you throw a boulder, something, and it creates an AoE damage zone that will injure survivors that are caught with it. So
that's more like Springtrap than anybody else with the axe.
Thinking hats on, and you know, theory craft all of it. I think it's super cool. The next one is, how does one gain a sin? So the first choice is foul ambition. Sins are chosen based on player progress. So for example, after 4 hooks have been reached, a specific sin is given. Or when a gen is complete.
This could be good. This could actually be good. So as long as it's executed correctly, this could be good, because it could actually add base kit gen slowdown, which is needed in the current game state if they're not going to address gen speeds. I've said for a while that there shouldn't be anything impacting gen speeds on Survivor, on Killer, speed up, speed down. Gen speeds should just literally be a one and done thing. They should literally just be 90 seconds, nothing influences them. But having something in its base kit that would slow gens down, or any kind of like put a debuff on gens or anything like that as the game progresses, it would be quite healthy, I think.
Completed, a specific sin is given. So these are very much like,
because it'd slow the game down to his pace, you know.
The sins throughout the match. Second one is predestination. So the sins are chosen at the start of
Somebody's
the
literally just said Lucifer from Asbin Hotel. I fucking swear to God, mate. If you put fucking Asbin Hotel in this game, I'm going to fucking uninstall.
Don't take it as face value. The sins could be many, many things. They could be like very, very powerful, very silly. Like they could be a
just ADHD brain there, because I've just said that without actually thinking. For those of you, I don't have an abject hatred of Asbin Hotel. I just want to go on record and say that, because I do actually think Alistair's a very cool design demon. And I do think if they were ever to do in some weird fucking universe that there was some crossover sort of shit with that game, that TV show, whatever, Alistair should be the killer. Because his design's actually quite creative, and he is actually quite creative as a demon character. It's just, I don't like how fucking Gen Z it all is, and how it's this fucking said in every sentence and all this kind of shit. And obviously, what I sound like, you know, it's a bit hypocritical, but this is, for me, it's habitual. I'm just naturally vulgar. When it's in a show like that, and it's as forced as it is in Has Been Hotel, mate, it's fucking cringe-inducing. It's like trying really hard to sort of break the mold, because demons these days with stuff like Doom, they've become a bit of a joke. In terms of narratives and all that kind of stuff, where demons are like, they're supposed to be threatening, but they're all a bit of a pushover and all that kind of stuff. And then you get stuff like Has Been Hotel that just puts it to the other extreme, where they're trying to be hard all the time and they're trying to be shocking with humour and all this kind of shit, and it's just really fucking fake. You can still make intimidating demons and make them strong in your own universes. You just have to fucking write them correctly.
Here's that with the sin of cowardice, they would scream sporadically, right? Until, of course, they repent and pray.
Since it's chosen at the start of the trial.
The idea is that from the start of the trial, each survivor is given a sin. And
that's pretty cool, actually. I do like that.
With it in some way.
Yeah, so everybody gets their own sin.
One is,
as long as they can't permanently remove it.
Sins are chosen
then what's the
by
point?
transgressions committed in the trial. So, for example, if you hook a survivor, or if you perform a specific...
That's what I mentioned at the beginning, yeah.
You know, heal someone, or if you get hit by the killer's power, or if you loot a chest, or if you loot all chests. You know, like you can think of all the possibilities of what these transgressions could be, and we can expand on that again. Next one is how does sin accumulate? Number one is the pain of wrath.
So they are doing 7 deadly sins. Okay.
Hand, hitting the unworthy with your active power increases their sin. So the comparison here that I'd make is like the Nemesis with his tentacle. You first hit the survivor to infect them, and then you can hit them again.
See, they're already comparing it to other killers, dude. It's just literally going to be a fucking dash killer, this. I can see it coming.
Vomit on a survivor, they gain sickness, and the more you vomit on them, the sicker they get until they are fully sick and broken. So just imagine that the killer has an active part in applying this pressure on survivors. Choice number 2 is the pain of inevitability. Sorry, I'm French, so sometimes words are difficult. But yeah, it's inevitable. And what that means is that sin accumulates over time. So only an act of repentance can undo the sin. So think of like the nightmare sleep meter or the master.
This is good for slowdown. This.
Once it's applied, it will build up over time passively.
As long as you don't turn it into the nightmare sleep mechanic though, where you just literally let them touch any fucking alarm clock anywhere on the map and just completely remove it.
We're trying to find the
Dumb shit. Same way as Sadako's power.
Together the final kit. Or sorry, not the final one, but the one that we'll explore as a starting point for the prototype. Because during the prototype phase, many things can happen, whether it's like technical limits, whether it's it's just not interesting or not fun. And obviously, I think everyone can agree that we want this power to be really fun, right?
Which is, again, why I'm so excited about this as a whole project is yeah, it's one thing for it to be on paper, and now let's jump into prototype land and then see it in action. And we want to take you on the ride for that. So it's going to be a cool year ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And the final one is the pain of artifacts. So the unworthy may try to wield your relics, but they risk facing severe punishment.
No.
I think for this one, the best example is
fucking no.
Items for the lich.
Yeah, I know.
Grab the Eye of Vecna or the Hand of Vecna.
Where you get complete fucking wall axe on all of his abilities and you can just fucking see what he's doing all the time. No.
Being worried if
no.
you get caught, which is a bit extreme.
It's fucking pain of training wheels.
Reward, you get that reward from.
They're going to all want that as well, yeah. Look at all the fucking freeze, dude. They want the content.
I think this is the last part, the last component.
I ask myself this one every day.
There's a lot of slides in this PowerPoint. I'm so sorry. How do you punish sinners? So again, there's 3 choices. The first one is relentless suffering. So sinners are punished until they repent. So think of an ongoing effect like the Doctor's madness.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
You have different effects that are applied to you. But the example that I think I've been exploring that I think is really cool is you can imagine that there's like these divine spears again, or like divine weapon that
you should be able to moor him. If they get to a certain point where they've ignored your power for a long amount of time,
by multiple
you should be able to moor him.
Injured.
I do think this should be pushed in a lot of kits these days with how the game's gone now, with how fast gens are and how many second chances everybody has. If you ignore the aspect of the killer's power and you just rush in gens and all that kind of stuff, you put yourself at risk of being moored and just killed. I think that's something that should be pushed for. I think this angel should build to a point where if they sin too much, he'll just fucking kill him straight up, or she'll just kill him, whoever it's going to be, you know?
Or something. So just imagine you have to like play this game of dodging for a while during your sinning phase. Choice number 2 is Merciless Smite. Sinners fuel your determination to unleash retribution. So this could be seen in 2 ways. The first one is that it could be that
you've got Nemesis on the minds quite a lot here.
Have additional effects when they're hit by your active power. Or the second one is that maybe you as the killer get buffed from having sinners in your match. So you are really, again, fueled with the determination to punish them and judge them. I think that could be also an interesting thing to explore. And here the comparisons that I made is, again, the Nemesis mutation level.
Even if it's just a case of giving him stuff like Fire Up for every, like a stack of Fire Up for every sinning survivor, or whatever the status effect is going to be. Just give him that so he gets increased break speeds or increased vaulting, all that kind of stuff that makes him faster. So they have to actually cleanse or whatever it is, repent, all that kind of stuff, or it becomes too much of a threat. Just make it relevant to survivors. Force them to have to interact with it, rather than just fucking making it like Freddy's power, where you can just completely fucking ignore it, and Sadako's. Because you don't even have to go to the fucking TVs before until Sadako's actually got you in condemned. Because you can literally just remove it in the chase. It's fucking idiotic power, dude.
Because it affects the range of his tentacle, or we have the shape when he tears up.
Make them be scared of you again.
Tear up anymore, really, but he gets base stat bonuses from the mode that he's in, basically. The last one, it's very ambitious, but it's also really cool, I think. I mean, all of them are really cool, but like this one is just so ambitious, and I think
This is a banish to another realm.
it's out there. But you know, just imagine it for a second. Hopeless exile. Sinners are banished.
A different plane where the survivor must survive a mini challenge. The killer can enter the area to deliver judgment themselves. Yes, I would say that this is the correct choice, ladies and gentlemen, because this is actually unique. This is good. So I think what they might do with this is that obviously it sends them to a realm, so you'll get sent to a little pocket dimension similar to the Halloween event where you go through a portal, but the killer can actually send you there randomly. If it accumulates enough sin, then the killer will get an aura read on whoever's the most, or whoever's reached the max sin, and then they can press a button and pull them into that realm. I like this because I used to play League a lot, and one of my top lane mains was Mordekaiser, post his rework, a couple of years back. And I used to like the idea of being able to pull your enemy laner into a private little dungeon, little boss arena, and fight them. And I would like to see that here, actually, with a killer, where you can actually pick a survivor up, pick them off out of the actual trial grounds and take them to, I don't know, this deformed area of heaven or even hell, that kind of stuff. Maybe in this particular part where you've sinned so much, you've pissed this angel off so much that he brings you down to hell and he turns into a demon, for that particular segment of it, Yeah, I do think that should be the choice. That should actually be the one they should go for, I think.
To another realm laden with challenges. So imagine it's a different plane where the survivor is sent when they are a sinner, and they have to survive a mini challenge. So, whatever that is, whether it's like collecting something, whether it's dodging projectiles, whether it's being chased by something, they have to survive a challenge to repent their sins, basically. And what would be really cool
that's good.
is if the killer can then enter this realm and deliver judgment themselves, right? Because again, you are this terrible divine being, and you are punishing being. You want to punish sinners, and so having the ability to go in there and do that yourself, I think, is very powerful from a fantasy standpoint.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's really good.
So,
yeah,
that's it.
I'm hoping we get 3, but we probably won't. But
Definitely.
Again,
just exploded.
Yeah.
This is what's
because you need to be pushing boundaries.
Have the power to.
I've said this before. We're in 2025, fellas. At the end of the day now, and literally every new killer that comes to this game is either a dash killer, a ranged killer, or some fucking botched stealth killer. Yeah, that's it. That's all it has ever been. Right. We need killers now going forward that do fucking cool shit in the game. We need to be wowed again. When we're actually playing this game, because it's getting to the point where it's just every release is just the same killer back to back, just reskinned and slapped together in a different organisation of how we've put together the power. Springtrap is a fucking brilliant example of this. Biggest license that was ever going to hit the game. What is he? Untrust Dredge Unknown clone. That's it. Literally, that is it. It's fucking dumb shit, dude. They need to be doing creative stuff. Fucking Identity 5, which is apparently a Chinese mobile parody port of this game, is doing more creative designs than the fucking PC one at the top of the genre is.
Basically guide the direction. You're kind of like, you're playing the role of a creative director, right? Like you're guiding the direction of the kit, and you're saying this is what we should explore. And that's the whole idea with this next phase of voting is, we want to make sure that what we explore is aligned with what you guys want. So by having these different components as opposed to a full kit, is you get to pick what you want for an active power. You get to pick how a sin is applied. And then by putting them together, we'll take this and put something together for the prototype phase. And as Eric said, we're going to keep you informed as we go along. But at least the foundation at which we will that we'll start with will be based on what you guys want, and I think that's really important, right? Because it's a collaborative effort with the community and the devs.
Hell yes. So the vote is not today. I don't know if we said that already, but we wanted to give you time to chew on all of this, to soak in it, bathe in it, baste yourselves in these choices, discuss amongst yourselves. If you're a survivor, make a friend with a killer and discuss.
Yeah, that's not
We're
going to
do
happen,
the
mate.
vote in the coming weeks. It's going to be in December. It's not far away, but it's not today. So take some time, think it over, review the clips from this stream. I'm really excited to see the discussions around it. I've been excited watching the chat react and discuss just through the segment. So yeah, super exciting. Thank you, Jeff, for going through that. Thank you for all of you for staying tuned. We're not done with the show. I mentioned at the top, we're going to do a big switcheroo now. We've got more folks to bring on. Dork's going to come out here. I'm going to go back there and try not to break the stream.
Fucking hell,
We'll
she's
be
going to
right
get seat
back
privileges.
to, talk you through the community. I did it again. Community Cosmetic Contest release roadmap. So we'll be right back, and Dork will be here.
She needs the toilet. She's getting up already.
Bye.
Contest updates. Right, so this was the last one, was it?
And within the 2025 contest window, we
Hang on a minute.
Dave. Hi, everyone. Excited to be here.
New face.
Hello.
And hi, I'm Brandon, product manager, and I worked alongside Dork, Andre, and other members of the team to determine the finalists.
All right. So first and foremost, we wanted to take the time to thank you all for participating in yet another Dead by Daylight Design and Cosmetic contest this year. And within the 2025 contest window, we actually received over 5,000 submissions. Can you imagine? Well, you can. You've seen them all.
Yeah.
But seriously, 5,000, and they've been full of amazing badges, banners, and outfits. Let me tell you, all of us, Doug, Brandon, myself, well, all of the team, really, we were really taken aback by our community's continued expression of passion and skill. Seriously, folks, you never cease to amaze us with your talent. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, absolutely. We were blown away. As Andre said, we crawled through 5,000 contest submissions. It was insane, but it was so worth it to see everyone's skill and expression coming out. It was super difficult for us to slim it down. To
Singularity's
kind of
TV face still isn't in the game, by the way.
For the finalists, but it was really
Just to mention it.
Well, when we went through these cosmetic submissions, by the way, we tried to pay close attention to what is technically possible, similar to how do we, build our own concepts. So some tweaks are to be expected, especially when we try to make mix and match work.
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, congratulations to all of our amazing winners for the Dead by Daylight 2025 Cosmetic Contest. And just so you all are aware, we've reached out to all of our contest winners to inform them of what changes needed to be made for their cosmetics and what is going to be needed to undergo to bring it into the world of the fog. But since we reached out to them and shared that, we thought we'd reach out to you all and share it here.
Just 1 second, because I seem to... obviously, this is going to be hearsay, because I can't remember where I did see this. I know it was on Reddit. There was apparently a post of the guy who made the dredge skin, the sheet ghost. And in that particular tweet, again, obviously this might have been fabricated, I don't know. He said they never reached out to him. They literally just... They made the skin, or he won it, and then they just made the skin, and then the first time he saw it was when it was massive on the screen. That was it. Right.
So we'll be going over that in a moment.
And just a little FYI, the legal part, some submissions from certain artists, that we're still in talks with, regarding the legal aspect of things. We won't be able to talk about those today, so you may not see them as we go through this section, but, let's go ahead and take it away and get a look at some Survivor cosmetic winners.
Yeah. So to start us off, we've got Runway Ready by Blake Brewer for Jane Romero. Is there anything you want to add about this one, Brandon?
Yeah, for sure. Like for this winner, our art team informed us that, there we go. Lovely
Jane cosmetic
combination right there. Our art team informed us that they need to lower Jane's high heels, kind of as is expected with high heels on her game sometimes, but also the flounce on her skirt might be a little bit different between the 2D concept and when we go to 3D, especially with our current tech.
Why are you reducing the heels?
Keep it as nice, nice and floaty.
They did this with Ada.
But other than that, some other...
Ada's got like stubby heels on.
Which kind of line up with what I said before, mix and match. The choker might have to be changed and modified a bit in terms of where it's positioned, as well as the waist belt placement to work in agreement with, as I said, the mix and match. If the team decides not to move the waist belt, we could also have the possibility of linking the cosmetic.
Right, which would also make it so that we could keep it as true to the concept as
Authentic,
possible.
yeah.
So there's still a win there. All right, so next up we've got Weathered Trek by Teeth Jars for Tori Kane.
Fucking hell, a new Tory skin at long last. There it is.
Changes from the concept, so they will work to try to keep it as faithful to the concept as possible. Moving on, our next winner, Star Student.
Fucking 2 seconds on the team. Do you see how long they spent talking about hers as well? Fucking hell, dude. The one survivor that got released with one of my favourite killers at the moment, and literally that killer and her has not seen a single fucking thing for months. And then she gets a 2-second mention.
By Lin Fong Min. Another
Fang skin.
The team does not foresee any need to deviate from the concept art, and we'll try our best to, once again, keep it close in line to the concept. And last, but definitely not least, The Slayer by Tina Beans for Kate Denson. So is there anything we want to talk about this one?
It's also red and black, like the Jane outfit. No, but I mean, I'll just.
It's very similar to the Jane outfit.
It's a real fun one. Currently, we're in the mind to keep this outfit as is. When we get to the 3D, just kind of keep it as is, remain as faithful to the concept as possible.
Okay. Yeah. So now on to our killers, and I'll go ahead and let Andre go ahead and take over this one.
Please be some fucking interesting ones, boys. Come on.
Yes, let's go. So for our first winner, we have Periwinkle the Juster by Kachan for the Wraith.
That is good. I remember seeing this. one on the Reddit, and I thought, yeah, this looks really good. It's just a shame that it's on Wraith, and Wraith is literally fucking useless to play. But it is a really good skin, that. I did see it on the Reddit, and I did think, fucking hell, that looks good. I hope that wins. So I'm happy that that's coming at some point. That does look really good.
This one, our team.
I do love me a jester. It's part of my
some bloodstains to this outfit.
Other identity elsewhere on the internet.
A bit of a tweak on that side to get the killer more to level of what killers do, which is kill. Sorry, but we'll make some slight changes to size of the collar, maybe a bit on the headgear, so that mix and match works a little bit best. And again, also to avoid any technical issues such as clipping, which you'll hear me talk about quite a bit.
All right, so
we better not nerf his bells though.
The submission is called Splinter Rose by Arth.
It's pretty good.
It's for the night. What about this one?
So in terms of changes for the night, our art team
informed
us of what they'll need to make some changes with this outfit specifically is the hair, as they worry as they'll have heavy instances of, you guessed it, clipping, our old nemesis, clipping. Currently, they're in the mind of linking the cosmetic, so
You're going to link his cosmetic just for the fucking hair. I don't give a shit about hair clipping through the body, dude. You could still get away with that. Hair is one of the things that you can actually get away with clipping. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you've got it positioned so that it doesn't completely go through his body into his fucking front, You could still get away with this. So we're going to make it a set now, are we? And we're also going to trim it. Fucking hell, dude.
We can really keep it as close to the concept and remain faithful, but we're still in discussion. So, I guess you'll hear from us if we do make some final decisions on that. But if they choose not to link it and keep it mix and match, then you could expect some changes with the hair, maybe getting shorter, or maybe being part of like the cape, kind of. Not really, but a lot to unpack there. But you'll hear from us soon.
My fingers are crossed for linking it so that we keep the hair as long as possible.
It's a great cosmetic.
I want it all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. It's amazing. So on to the next, we have
Legion
Girl by Maru for Susie of the Legion.
I like the mask on that one.
Another very
That's pretty cool.
If you can't tell, I just love colorful outfits. But yeah, Susie, for this cosmetic, the team informed us that since this cosmetic doesn't have a hood, we'll need to make this a link cosmetic, and it will not be mix and match. So with that being said, I know
because it's supposed to, because they're all different ones.
The team to make this super authentic, super close to concept. So, just a great.
Does look really good though.
Outfit that I'm excited for Legion to have. So great, unique outfit.
Oh yeah, and here we are with our
Slinger
final kill submission, the Lingering Launcher by Trip for the Death Slitter.
Yeah, for this one, the team doesn't expect to make any changes. So again, we'll keep this one as close to the concept
Does look good
as possible.
You fix him though, because he can't fucking land shots at the
A
moment.
huge round of applause to all the cosmetic winners.
Golf
Harpoon's
clap.
literally just bouncing off titanium
Thank you
survivors.
so much for sharing your time, talent, and
fuck was that?
skill, with us here at Behavior, but also to the Dead by Daylight community as a whole. Thank you. You are awesome.
Man was doing that
it's truly
on camera,
never a
wasn't
dull
even
moment
Is
here
that,
when it comes to the contest, and
Okay.
I'm already ready for next year's, just to see all of the amazing things that are going to be coming in, and also what people are going to resubmit. Please resubmit. And
so there are going to be banners
so looking forward
and
to
the
it.
roadmap for
We're
the
not done. We
cosmetics
still got badges
coming in.
and
So
banners, so let's go ahead and
see what those
look
are,
at
and then
these
we'll wrap this one up.
badges.
To be honest, it's pretty much it.
So we've got it all here on this very nice little asset. We've got Moonstone Maurice by Drawn by Dragons, Failed Hunt, I'm Cooked by Strawberry, Artist Muse by Dat Washi, Raccoon Feast by Glossopho.
And for our banners, we have Deadly Prides by Gina. We have Aching by Joy Blast.
That mannequin one might actually replace the Legion one that I've been running for ages. From the Castlevania one.
I love the names. I just love it.
It may.
So good. And once again, congratulations.
I do
to
like
all
the
of our
puppets.
insanely talented artists here. And remember, if you didn't see a cosmetic on here or in the roadmap, it's because we're still in the process of...
Go well with the Jester badge that I'm running as well.
Yes. Okay, so while everything we've shown you here has been great, and you're probably wondering that, well, when can I get it? And we're going to answer that by showing
2 or 3 years.
of what's to come, but, and still not that kind of bad.
Takes some fucking ages to get this stuff in the game, dude.
Until we'll let you know about a few additions coming with the 2024 cosmetic contest. What's up with that?
Yeah, so with the 2024 Dead by Daylight cosmetic contest,
Yeah, Larry's
it was the first
screen
time
face.
we got to go from 1 winner per category to 3. And that was huge because we got to add and basically inject so much
Oh yeah, they never added Haddy, did they?
artists into the fog.
Just seen it in the chat.
And,
I think
you know,
it's
shortly
Haddy.
after the contest was done, the team came to realize that we had extra slots in our upcoming rifts, which gives us an opportunity to add more. So our team took a look at the votes, and we chose the next killer and survivor that would have won, so the runner-ups for the 2024 contest, to also come into the fog.
So please join
Okay.
us in welcoming from the
They're adding more of them.
2024 Dead by Daylight cosmetic contest.
That's pretty good.
finalists
Cool.
To the winner pool, and I want to say, because someone said on Twitter, oh, Dork, if you can, sneak this one in. I don't have to sneak, because it's here. Space Rider by VR
Gabriel Skin, there it is.
for Gabriel Soma. And
Fucking chat's gonna light up about this
A
one.
House Not a Home by
Hey,
Lana.
there it
They,
is.
come in
That was the one I
and,
wanted
to
as
keep them
well.
on par, we're going to also give them
Now, I
the
hope-
same rewards that we gave for.
I hope with
2024.
this, when it does come into the game, it creaks. He's got that creaky, wooden, satisfying kind of sound to it as well. Because this one was better to me. In terms of that, I still like the Ghost one, but I do like this as a more of a, because it was a Halloween type thing. But yeah, I hope it creaks and it has that sort of really old house, crookedy
Winners,
kind of sound to it.
And they will be treated as winners moving forward.
As they should. Congrats. And we've already sent out to these folks the same rewards that our 2024 and 2025 winners received. So VR Gabriel and Ivana, be on the lookout for that. Check your emails, please.
Yes. And also for all of our winners, we'll be.
That's pretty
working
cool if these
on
people are in the
getting
stream and
that
they just randomly find out that, oh shit, your
cosmetic
concept's
contest
actually being
tab for
added.
you.
That's
And I think I have it.
a rare behaviour W.
Just to show both of them together. Look how lovely. But this amazing exclusive badge is going to be for our winners. The CM team actually concepted this, and we got an early version. I'm super excited for everyone to get their hands on this. The finished version will actually have the year that you won on the trophy, so looking forward to that.
Yes, it looks
Pretty cool.
amazing. And on behalf of the Dead by Daylight community team, well,
See, they can do good shit when they fucking put their minds to it, dude. This is where we are. It's like so close to being good. You know what I mean?
And we are super excited to be welcoming these amazing additions to the fog.
You just fucking let themselves down constantly, dude, by listening to the wrong people and just, the fuck is this ADHD shit?
I'm so glad that we saw
fine.
the opportunity to do some more. But enough of that. I'm sure you're like, okay.
Yeah, like,
roadmap,
they
Dork,
listen to the
we
wrong
gotta go,
people,
hey.
they add stupid shit to the game that
let's go
doesn't need
ahead
to be
and
there,
pop
and then they
into
can do shit like this,
Yeah, so
where everybody's happy,
here's
you know?
our plan for 2024 Well, it sounds weird to say 2024, but these are the 2024 winners to expect, along with the 2025 winners. As you can see, currently we have Adam's Late Night Nut Lecture and Dredge's Fear of Reminiscence.
They're all the ones that are out.
Along with some entity-based player cards like the Entity Touched Petals banner and the NT Kitty badge. In our upcoming Rift, expect to see Space Rider Gabriel and
Nice, we're getting House Dredge
ones
next.
that we
That's pretty
just
cool.
announced, along with some animal-themed player cards. The Riding Maurice banner and Bloodbath's Ducky badge. I call it Ducky badge. We'll get a mini badge.
There's
in between
Hattie.
the rifts with
That's gonna be
the
handy.
Flower of Life outfit for Hattie, which will be in the
Fucking
in-game
2
store
years
as
ago.
part of the Artist from the Fog collection. And a note on this. This submission is also considered a 2024 winner and will also receive a Design a Cosmetic winner badge for 2024 and the Orexcel prize. I guess check your emails, right, Andre?
Yes, you should. You
Sorry
should check
about
your
that.
emails. Everyone check your emails. That was a big. that was a
Wow, the
big
Wraith
deal.
skin's not from
1 second.
ages
Let
ago,
me
dude.
say, last year in 2024.
Where's the mannequin
in the contest,
banner?
like, we're having trouble reaching out to people because a lot of them did not check their emails. We did fix this in this year because we asked you guys for your social media and it helped a lot. You cannot imagine how much it helped because we were able to reach out to folks through their social channels because, well, not everyone checks their emails.
It was great though too because like we'd send you an email, it's like hey, and then we'd send you a DM on Twitter, hey, and then we'd send you a DM on Instagram, hey, please.
Talk to us.
Okay.
I guess we can go back to, where were we actually? Oh yeah, we were at batch number 2. So for our next batch, we have the 2025 winners, starting with Runway Ready Jane.
That's gonna be like mid 2026 at least. This one.
Purgatory banner. I can't say it as good as Andre. I'm sorry.
Purgatory.
I want to let Andre have that. And the Failed Hunt I'm Cooked badge. For the next batch, we will have Star Student Fung, Splinter Rose Knight, the Deadly Prize banner, and the Moonstone Maurice badge. Following that, the next batch after
That's
that is
fucking miles away,
Slave
dude.
Knight outfit, and the
The fucking banner the only banner that I've ever actually wanted.
They
You know.
have this like country vibe.
Yeehaw.
Great to pair them together. Then I was gonna say yeehaw, but yeah, again, I can't say it as good as Dork. Anyway, we also have the Aching banner and the Raccoon Feast badge in that batch. And finally, our last batch from the winners is
And the Tory skins fucking miles away as well.
and the Weathered Trek Tory. We also have those badges and banners. So we'll have Artists Muse and the Have You Seen My Dog banner.
And Mortal Kombat.
And yeah, again, thank you so much.
Dude,
Yeah,
fucking hell, will you stop with that shit?
Once
I think
again,
that's
like we said,
probably it,
if you
innit,
missed
to be
it
fair.
earlier, if someone was missing from
Region
here, because we're still in
expansion,
process of connecting with
LED's
them,
badge and banner. What?
and we're just trying to-
Oh yeah, I remember this. Hang on.
Brother, huh?
So this was
What about his face? Oh, okay. I'm like, so yeah, guys, Singularity's face update is coming next on the next release on Tuesday. So we'll get to see his updated face in the game.
about literally 7-8 months since it came out, but okay.
But that's going to be it for the cosmetic contest and for showing the badge and banner for LED and the roadmap. Thank you all so much for hanging in there with us. The last thing we're going to do, actually,
Yeah, they're just adding LED's badge and banner. It is what it is. Apparently it was supposed to be in the Rift, but yeah.
Debut the next episode of our social micro lore series, First Kills.
But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, that's going to be the end of that. We reacted to, the changes. We basically clawed the game back, the PvP game, from the clutches of fucking Twitter, basically. Happy about this. I am actually happy about this, as I say. Any time I do these rants, it's because it's genuine. I'm trying to, get the game into a fucking decent state, just by bringing awareness. Obviously, I'm not a big creator, so I don't get a big, massive voice. But it's the push for just having a PvP game, mate, and people need to fucking man up when they're playing it. it is what it is at the end of the day. I know it's not fun to be tunnelled out as Survivor, and I know it's not fun to spend most of your games on the floor as Survivor, but the game's got consistent fucking issues, and the way they were going to be addressing this is going to make it worse for you on Survivor, because it'll just increase it. It doesn't matter if there's safeguarding shit in the way of it. That's me nailing my own tongue. It don't matter if there's safeguarding shit involved with it or anything like that, it will get worse. Categorical. To the point where there probably won't even be any sort of game with any kind of substance to it, because it'll just be iframes all the time, and you'll only face the same 3 killers over and over, which is where we were heading if that patch actually went live. So they're sort of steering it back on course now. And with the current game state they've got at this point in time, I would now, if I was on this dev team, or if I was leading the charge with this dev team now, in this moment, now that we've done this stream and all this kind of stuff, I would just completely steer it onto bug fixing. Just fix bugs for the rest of this part between now and the next chapter. Get it all polished and sorted out, what needs doing and all that kind of stuff, and go from there. Stop listening to fucking pancakes on Twitter. Because it's not going to work. It really is not going to work, you know? They're just going to have to get used to fucking being targeted if they're not good at looping, because they'll have to learn how to play the game, you know? It is what it is. Destroying half of your game for the sake of catering to people that complain every time they die in it, you're going to lose your IP. It is what it is, you know? But yeah, it is what it is. So there's the review, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you for the next one.